Welcome to SVPod. It's just me and Steve. I don't know where Red is.
What?
I think he's in bed with my daughter, I think, in his spot.
Packed it in.
Shut it down. What a day. What a day of football. Some really impressive narrative changing results. I don't know if that one lady I saw that was hoping to win the Powerball down in Alabama still wants to buy out Kalen DeBoer. Is he allowed to finish October? Roll Tide. Y'all tell me. Is he allowed to finish October now, or are we still trying to get the buyout? Friggin' people. Let's start where you're at. I can't imagine how down bad that group is. It's just the next page in the same book, same movie, same whatever that Penn State has lived over and over and over and over. Fall at home in overtime. Let's set the scene. Righteous Gemstones were on the set this morning, leading an evangelical. I turned it on. I'm like, I told Reese you should wear that. You should wear that suit tomorrow. Look like
you got plenty of that. Don't you worry.
I bet. Looked like a beautiful day, and it had a chance to be a beautiful night. Steve, you've been there for several days.
Yeah. Thamel and I were talking as we really wine-dined ourselves last night and grabbed a cheesesteak and sat at the hotel bar for Florida State and TCU.
Not quite Prime 112, huh?
No, a little different. Here at State College. But what was really cool, Scott, in all the years, I mean, it's over 20 years of traveling and doing this for work and stuff. This is the first time I ever got to stay downtown. And it's from where we live, I drove and I drove and I drove, and you don't see a lot. And then State College pops up on you. And it was cool, man. Like it just to be around. I still can't get over this idea. I think I talked with you about it or somebody else. This idea that kids and parents just go out and get fucked up at bars. I could never see that. Yeah. Like waiting in line.
It's this whole weird.
Like this new thing.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I could never see myself doing that.
No, like back in the day, like my folks weren't coming to Bentleys with me. Like
no,
but we talked about it back when we were talking about the whole sorority thing. Like parents come for their bid day. Like what are you let your kids live? What are you doing?
It's weird. I like line. I mean lines.
No, maybe it was it Parents Weekend or something? Because that's a totally different deal.
I don't think so. I don't. Even if it is, like standing outside of a line of over 100 people with your parents to go drink $1 vodka sodas. Like I could never get over that. Anyway, no, but it was just cool to take in the city and in the college town, being here, and it's this build and everybody's like, is it? Please tell me this is the time, please. I'm like, if I could tell you what was going to happen, I wouldn't be here. I'd be on an island somewhere. But I like their chances. And I forgot who it was that said it, and they pointed out they were going through the matchups in the game. And they said, James Franklin is a guy that tends to get conservative in these games. And I was like, yeah, but, that Big Ten title game, he had nothing to lose. They were throwing it up and down with Oregon. And there's been instances where he has it. But the other guy, that foot is on the gas, man. And you could just tell it was like the first fourth down, they ended up stopping him. But it's like everybody on this Penn State sideline is like, oh, they're going for this? I'm like, oh, do you know Dan Lanning? Like, this thing is on all the way whenever they get on the field. So it was really impressive for them to come back. But here they are again at the same stage. I still don't see it with their supposed difference makers on the defensive line. There's a lot of hype, but Not they don't compare to what I saw the last 3 weeks of watching Miami on film and watching them in person. But you got to give credit to Oregon. I mean, to come into this place, I thought the game plan was awesome. Will Stein's a freaking genius. This is round 3 going against Jimmy Knowles, and Moore like has some serious pedigree, man. Like knows every down and distance, knows just what to get, knows when to tuck it, knows when to throw it. And I thought a couple big plays were just runs right at Penn State, and it really like set people on their heels. We could talk about the spectacle that it is. I definitely have my opinions on that in comparison, but it's really interesting now. Damn it, I said it. It's
okay.
Intriguing now to see where Oregon goes to a bye, and then they host Indiana, and now Penn State is right back to where they were. I just that for all that and what they put into it, they're right back to where they haven't taken any steps ahead. They haven't taken any steps behind. You know, you got a whole season, you got games on the schedule where you could take steps, but they were hoping to take a giant one tonight, and they couldn't. They had everything they wanted, every single thing they wanted. They wanted the whiteout. They wanted a big game at night. They wanted everything here, and they couldn't do it.
Dylan Thieneman, Purdue transfer, makes the play in overtime. He was thought of as one of the better players at his position when he transferred, obviously within the conference, to go there. Makes the pick of Aller. It's 17-3, and Aller has like 60 yards of passing. And they got a little more aggressive. I mean, you can't be conservative down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. But he hit a deep one to make it a 7-point game. The defense gave him a chance. They tie it. Love the play call down there on the goal line. You get to overtime. You score first. You get a chance. You got to stop them. It's a 4th down. They can't quite. Oregon ties it, and then they hit that first play touchdown in the second, and then Thieneman gets the pick of Aller, and it's over. And whether it's the James Franklin talking points about records, I mean, I've said this a million times. Folks that have listened know there's facts and opinions. These aren't opinions. It's just a recitation of facts. Penn State fans, I'm sure you get sick of hearing it. You know it. Record against the top 10 teams, it's another loss. You heard me say it time and time and time again about Drew Aller. I just want to see him be the guy. I want to see him win a game because he's the guy. And he gets picked in that spot in a game where I'm not calling him a bum because he's not. But he was sold as this 5-star guy that was going to be much better than the guy you had before because that guy didn't win big games. What big team has Aller beaten? Michigan? Ohio State? Oregon? You want to tell me SMU and Boise? Those are teams that made the playoff. They're not in your weight class. They're just not. And I'm not even going to say no disrespect. That's an opinion. But SMU and Boise State aren't in your weight class. You're Penn State. You're in the deep end of the pool. You're in the big boy category. Who has he beaten that's in that category? No one. And so doesn't mean he can't. You'll probably have a chance. You know, I mean, you get a chance with Ohio State later in the year. If you lose a couple, I don't know, like who else do they play that's given them a chance to get like wins that you go, ooh, that's a good one?
Indiana.
Penn State gets Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I give Penn State credit for fighting back. That place was going bananas late. You get it, like you said, everything you want. Now it's overtime. Now it's like the magic's going to happen. It reminded me so much, Steve, of when that Ohio State box score. I always remember looking back at it after they blocked the field goal and won. It's like, how the hell did they win that game? I thought that I felt the same way when they got to overtime. Like, and when they score, I'm like, I'll be damned, they're going to win this thing. Whiteout magic, it's a thing, and it wasn't a thing. So I don't know, Penn State fans, you all have lived it. You guys are chanting "Fire Franklin," or so Twitter said in the third quarter. then you're ahead in overtime. I don't know how those folks reconcile that one. But anyway, here we are again. Plenty of runway, not an eliminating loss. It's just got to be awfully frustrating for them to relive the same thing they've seen over and over again. You said you've got your opinions on the scene. I'd love to hear it. James told you all this morning on game day it's going to be the greatest atmosphere in the history of college football. What do you got?
It's great.
What?
It's great. But it's not. It's not. I thought Tennessee was louder earlier this year. I walked over to the Oregon sidelines because the Penn State sidelines were so crowded, and I get it. They have their people, and I'm like, okay, but I could see some space over there where I don't have to stand behind the sound guy that holds up the big clear bubble thing. And it's just funny. You go literally, you walk across the field behind the end zone, 53 yards away, and they're like, "This is fine." Like, we played a Husky stadium. We know what our stadium is, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, thank you. I'm not the only one that doesn't feel this. Like, yeah, it's loud. The music after, every third down, they got the lights flashing. The students it's awesome. But I would take 4 other places, So I'm not piling on just
no.
Penn State. They were unbelievable hosts. Unbelievable displays. James let us come to practice Thursday, saw their new facility. It's awesome. It's awesome here. I just keep saying, you had everything you wanted and you couldn't take that next step. And I can't imagine the frustration of being invested in it. But also knowing the opportunity is still there.
And the thing about what you're describing in terms of environment is that, and I've not been to one, so I will not weigh in. I can't intellectually weigh in on something I haven't experienced. But the way I've heard it, like Herbie's like, it's as good as there is. Mm-hmm. And what I've heard other people say is, it's awesome. It's just not the only awesome thing. Mm-hmm. Like my experience down in Baton Rouge will forever be what I judge anything else against. And that's because those people they're not of the earthbound race. Cajun folks, it's, as I said, I always say it's as if you bubbled up from the earth and you exist in a different wavelength, and there's this buzz in the air and there's a buzz because of the bird. It's just different. Yeah. But tonight, the atmosphere, the whiteout at night, it's a spectacle to watch on television. It's incredible. It's incredible to see.
It's nuts, man. When you walk into it and you just see I came out through the tunnel right before Penn State comes out.
That's so cool with the fence. I love that.
It's so bright, Yeah. And then I took a couple series in the end zone, and you're like, man, if you're not locked in here, their helmets, they kind of mix in quarterback opposing team. Be careful here. It's that crazy. And then
it's interesting.
The Shakers and the students side. I thought Blackledge on talking to him what was it, Friday? I saw him. He always said he noticed a different. I didn't really go towards the opposite end where the game. That's where it ended. Yeah, that's where it ended. But he always thought the student section, I'm like, James got his wish again. So you got it, what you want again, overtime in the student section, but both teams score, and then it goes to the other end. And Oregon scored the first play and took it out. So yeah, it's a pretty crazy visual in person with all the white at night. And now with all these light shows and everything, the way they could do things, it's really good, man. Really good.
Dante Moore was really good. 248, 3 touchdowns. Just seems to be poised and in control. Really, really impressive just with that. You can impress just by not letting moments be too large and having calm in the face of it, maintaining poise. It's not a joke when we say keep your poise. He did. But again, this is not disqualifying for Penn State. It just, I'm sure, go to social media. People their frustration with being in that spot again is understandable.
Yeah.
You would not have been able to see the Georgia-Bama game, I presume, because you were.
Come on. I had this thing working.
All right.
We had it. I watched the whole second half on the sidelines.
Ty Simpson and Bama come out, and they were. First of all, that line, like I get it. Kirby's 107-13 against everyone else, 1-7 against Bama. There's that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get how they're less than 3 at home. But it's 14-0 Bama, and Simpson is leading them on the most efficient kind of night you can have. They were 13 of 19, Steve, on third down.
Yeah.
So impressive. And as I'm watching, especially in the first half, I'm like, man, Georgia's defense stink. Like, is that what we're looking at? They couldn't stop Tennessee. They can't stop Alabama. Like, they stink. Then the silver britches start flying around in the second half, and I'm like, okay, they don't stink. Question answered. And then Georgia starts running it. They ran it for 2 1/4, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Steve, on a 4th and 1, they gave it to Cash Jones. Is that his last name? Cash Jones. Chauncey Bowens had run for $1 and change, and he was getting about an average 9 a carry. And on a short 4th down where you could have kicked the field goal to tie it, I didn't hate going for it. I just hated what they went with. They also had a receiver drop what would have been a touchdown, but Williams dropped a touchdown the first half too. So like you just that for me, it's the 4th down call in a game where you were leaning on them heavy and it looked like you might grab it. But I left that game much like Oregon, Penn State, but in a different way, just going, look, those are 2 really good football teams. I feel that way about Oregon and Penn State. I feel that way about Alabama and Georgia. I just think that we watched them lose to Florida State, and their obit was written in August, which was a fool's errand because now everything changes. They go into Athens and win again. And again, it was the 3rd down, and then Grubb dialed up this great play call on the last 3rd down that allowed them to find the tight end who made a great play, went down inbounds, knees, and we're out of here. That was, I know you were able to see some of it. If you didn't see the first half, that was really impressive, just the way Bama possessed it, maintained first down after first down, scored on passes. Simpson was fantastic.
Yeah, I love them. I said after Florida State, I love the fight that I saw. They just had to get the O-line figured out. I thought the drive at the end of the second quarter by Bama was monstrous to get a touchdown because Georgia, I want to say there was a big 3rd down and then a penalty because they were thinking maybe they got the ball back with a minute, and then Alabama goes down. The 4th down call you're alluding to where they give it to Cash, I say kick the field goal, but what they ran, I love the call. But you got 2 freshmen on the right side of the line. They don't pin down on Overton. He walks into the end zone.
It was that close.
If Gaston just seals, just close off the guy in the gap, and he walks in the end zone, and that whole thing is flipped. But Ty was great, and Ty gets him out of that hole, gets a couple first downs. And then that last misdirection, Grubb got in his bag, man. I thought he was in his bag all night. That's some old Washington Penix stuff we saw tonight with the misdirection, the play action. I wanted to run this up because I know we're going to compare them or talk about LSU, and I haven't run the numbers yet. But Alabama was not great running the football, but they ran it 38 times. And you know what happened on the last play, that 3rd down? They ran play action, and they got guys' eyes where they weren't supposed to be. And that's because they committed to the run. 38 for 117. I think that's, what does it say, 3.8 a carry. That's a commitment to a game plan. And that's why, in the end, you win. And LSU still doesn't do it. They don't commit to the run game. And that's a big, big boy win for Kalen DeBoer. You could see even on the miscues, they went for a 4th down, got stuffed. They had miscommunication, which looked like all the problems they had in road games, which they lost last year. When you go back at Vandy and Tennessee and Oklahoma, and he's out there, hey, defense, let's go. Get back out here. We got to get the ball back. It was a big one. You could see him walking out for the handshake.
Yep.
And how fired up guys were behind him. And then also they showed Grubb in the box, and the assistants next to him are like having one right there.
I'm glad you point that out.
Really cool.
That was very noticeable to me as well. Same kind of thing. Like, you understand Lanning's I don't know. It's just relief, enthusiasm for the moment. I mean, you go into a whiteout and you win. That's as big as it gets. Well, you go into Athens and win. They don't lose there much. And
no. 33 in a row.
I want to say
it was.
Yep, 3-3. Larry Bird. Well, that's done. And I think that the reports of DeBoer's demise were greatly exaggerated, but that's what we do. It's the space we're in. Every idiot on Twitter, fire him. Shut up. It's not how life works. Jesus Christ. But whatever. Like, do what you want. I just, I don't. Anyway, I was an impressive dub. You mentioned Vanderbilt. That's who they get them next week in T-Town, which will be a lot. Mr. Pavia threw five touchdowns for Vandy. I'm just going to mention this. This will be the Vandy mention.
No cover though, right?
Well, it was a late Utah State tutter. How about the next month for them? At Bama, LSU, Mizzou, Texas, and Auburn. That's who Vanderbilt plays their next 5.
That's where I want to be in T-Town next week. I'm waiting on the announcement.
Do you know yet?
No, we haven't.
Break news when you know.
I will.
Most impressive win to you? We covered the 2 night games. Is there a win you want to start with? I got all the stuff, all the Cliff's notes, all the things that I found worth mentioning.
I think the way Ohio State won.
Sands numbers were, and it wasn't him so much, but he managed everything that he needed to manage. There was one really terrible call, I thought, in a 7-3 game where they called roughing. It's not. It just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hit as he threw the ball. It's bang, bang. Wasn't targeting. Wasn't helmet to helmet. And it helps change the game because it allows Ohio State to get into the red zone. They score a touchdown. It's 14-3. And the way this Ohio State defense that had to replace so many dudes, the way that defense, they call them the silver bullets in the secondary and whatever. I don't know what they call all 11 of them. I just call them some bad motherfuckers because they absolutely hunt on defense.
Yeah.
Put it on a shirt. Yep. Put it on a shirt. Their wallet is the brown one. That's what it says on there. They're impressive. You get in the red zone. I mean, Washington settled for 2 field goals. They went for a tricky number where it looked like I guess the tight end didn't. He was blocking when the kicker was trying to throw it to him. Washington was playing from ahead, but they were in that space where they needed to get a touchdown. They couldn't because Ohio State's defense just wouldn't let them. But what impressed you the most about that group?
The defense. I always wonder, and I know I shouldn't, but I consider Washington a Pac-12 school.
They kind of are.
Oregon, the way matchups happen. And when this happens, when you have a traditional school from the West playing a Big Ten school in the East, and I go back to the national championship at Washington, and with Michigan, it was like, can Washington block them? And they were the Joe Moore Award winners that year. They couldn't.
I don't know if it was Washington center today, Steve, but it was an interior lineman. I believe it was a center that went out. That biggest cog in the wheel is the man up front making it all go. But one person wasn't going to change the outcome of that game. That's as you know better. than most. That's a really tough place to go, and they were juiced for it. But Ohio State managed to be the boa constrictor and just slowly and methodically just squeeze the air out of the balloon.
Yeah, and you got a difference maker at quarterback in DeMond, and you end up going 1 for 11 on third down. You're not going to beat the number 1 team in the country when you do that. I don't care who your personnel is. Those are facts. But, yeah, saying 22 of 28, no turnovers, and you have the best player in the sport. 8 catches, 81 yards. Don't forget about him.
I mean, when they took the lead, it was throw the ball to 4.
That's
not that complicated.
They will.
That was impressive for sure. I just want to say, gold all on my watch. Trinidad Chambliss, Ferris State's own, and Reb's offense is what everyone talks about, but Ole Miss wins because defensively, and maybe it's the offense they're going up against. You know, LSU, they ran for like 50-something yards, I think it was.
57 yards, 22 attempts.
All right, you got to commit to trying. They didn't. And Mississippi, same kind of deal as Alabama late. It was a 4th and 1, up 5. Do you kick the field goal? No. Go for it. We can win the game. They run a beautiful play. Wide open man. He slides down on his butt, and it's a happy night in Oxford. That's the kind of game where, you know, Ole Miss, I think, they're one of those teams that, how do I put this? Like when you're in the SEC, right? It's like if you're in a family, like a giant family, and there's like 5 or 6 brothers that are all like badasses, and you're this other one, and you're all right, but your big brothers are all like, yeah, it's the Coughlin kids, right? Yeah, this kid, like Lane's kind of out there doing his thing, and we're tweeting, and our daughter, and blah 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 blah. We got, I don't know who's the show with. There was a 30 for 30. I don't know what we're doing. I mean, the guy's life's out there. It's fine. And so Mississippi's kind of like that because there's all these other schools, and they're the other brothers, and you just don't know, is this little rascal over here going to join the party for real? Well, winning games like this, and they've beaten LSU in their place. They do it again, but you just got to keep stacking those dubs, and then get a chance to be a playoff team. Today's the kind of day where a win like that and the manner that they won the game gives more chance to buy into the idea that that little rascal's going to maybe have a seat at the table. Does that make sense at all? I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Yeah, because I think the other thing is there's a trust factor because you don't trust them every single week, and that's what got them into trouble last year.
Lost at home to Kentucky.
They beat the brakes off Georgia last year. Beat them like soundly. And you lose to Kentucky, and then you go and lose to Florida in a game where your quarterback played the worst game of his season.
Not great.
That's the Ole Miss stuff that happens. But I leaned Ole Miss in this game because I trusted Lane and the offense more than the LSU offense. And when I go through the numbers, again, it drives me nuts. And LSU goes up 7-0. You're like, oh, buddy. But I thought I caught one of the halftimes. Went to see the teams walk in. I went in for pregame, came back out. But I heard Orlovsky talking. I think they only ran it on first down like 3 times. Like that, you can't do that. That's not sustainable football. Speaking of LSU's offense. But yeah, how about, we're always open. We're the best athletes on the field. Now we might be the smartest guys on the field. That play by Daquan Wright, the tight end, just to lay down.
Yeah.
Come on. That's details too.
Well, and what I'm talking about is just
credit for that.
Whether it's emotional or organizational, functional maturity, that's what that was. Oh, we've got the yardage. Lay it down. We don't need any more points because the only way you could ever catch us is if you get the ball back. But if you never touch it again, we win.
Bingo.
And shout to them. I was with you. I liked Ole Miss, gave them out winners, liked them. I just found that game to be the manner in which they won. To me, is a sign of good things for that group.
I thought Lane was very particular and focused on keeping the ball in the second half because it felt like LSU's defense just was out there forever.
Yeah, but they couldn't. He kept waiting for him to land another blow, and Ole Miss really kind of couldn't. LSU's defense is so ferocious.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, those are some good dubs. I'll tell you another great win, Steve. Props signed up for 60, and Indiana went in there and won. Again, you win last week where you score 63 and you boat race Illinois. You know going into Kinnick what you're getting. You know it. You could almost write the script. This game is going to suck. I mean, for Indiana, it's going to absolutely suck. We just have to figure out how to have one more point than them after 60 minutes. And they did. And it doesn't matter how you get there. In the end, Mendoza makes a play. There's one broken tackle. And after, this sort of rock fight back and forth, 13-13, all of a sudden, I felt like was that their only lead of the game? I feel like I could be mistaken.
Indiana?
Yeah.
No, they went up 7.
That's correct. But then it was 10-7. It was 10-7 Crops. And Steve and I when we fly across the country, we just look down at the big grids, and Steve will go, "Look, it's Crops." It's Indiana. I keep saying Indiana. Illinois had the lead.
Iowa.
Illinois wasn't playing them. Illinois played USC. That's another game. I'm sorry, there's a lot of shit written down. That's why if I just call them Crops, everyone knows. I know. Crops led. Then it's 13-all. Crops misses a field goal. Touchdown, Indiana. It's just an impressive win because it shows, much like we're saying with Ole Miss, that you can win. You won a beauty pageant game last week where you wow everyone. Well, you win a gutted out game. Show some intestinal fortitude, some grit. That's what you want because it's required.
Yes,
it's required, and now you got to go take on the Ducks. Who, buddy?
2 weeks.
Oh, they get a bye.
Do they have a bye? Let's see.
I just know that in the schedule it went Iowa, Oregon.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't know there was a bye in the middle.
Yes, they do have a bye.
Okay.
Wow. So Oregon and Indiana off a bye.
They'll be well rested. Impressive dub for Signetti's guys. It's a late safety. Everyone's making a big to-do about it. I mean,
second half lines are not going to be.
It wasn't even that. It was just that there were people that played it before it got to 7, 7.5, 8. And if that happened, sorry. I gave out Crops plus whatever it was, 7.5 or 8. So we were all right.
So are you officially going Iowa's Crops and Nebraska's Corn?
No, I've always called Iowa Corn.
Yeah, I know. What's going on there?
I just think
more adjectives. You're adding to your arsenal.
Crops is just a funnier word and a funnier way to describe it. Crops. Oh man. I had Auburn in winners again. Jackson Arnold last week I said is limited. I would like to add to that. Very limited. Maybe very, very limited. They had 155 yards of offense today, Steve.
And they covered.
Well, the defense got them down there to the 2, and then they were able to get in. But I don't know if it's an O-line issue. I don't know. But it's a little bit like the Lagway situation with Florida. As their defense played fantastic two weeks in a row on the road in Norman and on the road in Kyle Field. Auburn's defense played really well. And offensively, they just can't do it.
Yeah, the hold on to the ball is an issue. And in that league, you got to speed it up, and it's tough to watch.
Very
as
limited.
You pointed out, I loved Auburn because of the situation. A&M 2 weeks off, everybody telling you how great you are. You just went and beat Notre Dame. Auburn pissed off about how last week went, and you get to go right back on the road in an equivalent place, as tough a place to play. I don't want to get Oklahoma and A&M people mad at me.
I mean, it's like we were talking about with Penn State earlier with the whiteout. Like,
thank you.
It's like rich people or pretty women. Like, there can be more than one rich person. There can be more than one beautiful woman. And like, if you're a beautiful woman and you say this woman's also beautiful, oh, I'm not hot. Oh, I'm not pretty. No one said you're not pretty. We're saying there's other pretty people. Relax. Get so upset about shit all the time. Hypothetically. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What happened in Tennessee?
Buddy, what didn't? That's on my good for them list. That's the kind of game that I don't know how they won it because each team tried not to. Mississippi State's turnaround under Lebby in a year is astounding. It's a little bit like what Virginia had an amazing win on Friday night over Florida State. They turned things around quick and in a hurry. Well, Mississippi State, that's a good / great win for Tennessee because that's the kind of game that was there to be lost. And they managed to tie it late. And then in overtime, they managed to get a deflection on a fourth down because they scored first. Isn't it wild to me, Steve? I have no theory on this. As a player, maybe you can help me. It's wild to me how often in overtime the first play goes 25 and is a score. Why is that?
Because coaches have, you have your goal line plays. You have your overtime plays.
And so your first one just says your first one just says fight song next to it?
No, it's your, if you don't get to the red zone plays, it's your chunk play. It's your misdirection. It's something that you have marked where it's
I want to say it was a handoff. I think it was a handoff first play in overtime.
Okay.
Whatever. I might be mistaken.
To Bishop.
Yeah.
Yes.
First play.
I saw that highlight.
Okay.
Yeah. I know everybody marks them now and game plans it for it. Like, on Thursdays we used to call it special cat, which is special category. So you go coming out, which is backed up on your 5-yard line. You go red zone, you go goal line, you go 2 minute, and you have those. I think people have added, or at least the players know, overtime, this is what we're going with.
I always wonder if it's like because it's such an odd thing. It's not like, the timeouts take forever. And if there's a timeout on a third down or something and you come back out on the field, you've been away for a little bit and you got to get amped back up again. But this is an entirely different circumstance. Right? We come out, we're at the 25. People, I've been around for a long time. Y'all know I hate it. Everyone loves college overtime. I hate it. Recite it with me. Football is a timed game played on a 100-yard field. And then in overtime, it isn't. And so I just wonder if when you come out and all of a sudden we're on the 25, we switch ends. Like you switch ends, Oregon comes out, bang, touchdown, first play. It's just wild. Tennessee, overtime, first play. And that's after Tennessee went on a drive to tie it under 2 minutes. Aguiar continues to do big things. What's my guy's name, 17th? Is it Brazel?
Yeah.
Right? Chris, am I saying it right? Brazel? Brazel? Yeah. No, that's a different thing. That's on the internet. Oh, no, that's Brazzers. Someone told me.
Jack knows.
Jack knows. Jack can tell us. Brazel. Jack's not telling us about that website he's talking about as wide receiver. That dude makes...
He's on that website.
No, he's not. He's on VolQuest talking about the Vols, and that dude makes big-time plays, feels like all the like highlight plays. He had one of these tap the top of your head jaunts early in the game. But after Tennessee had the lead, It got tied. They turn it over on a pick. Mississippi State goes ahead. That's the kind of game you could crumble, and they didn't. They had a horrendous endgame sequence again. I don't know what Heupel's last 30-second script looks like, but I didn't love it. Felt like they could have tried not to have to play overtime. Doesn't matter in the end because they win. But that's an excellent win. I mean, going into Starkville and just beating them like a drum, that's last year. That ain't this year.
I had Oregon, Ohio State, and I put Tennessee in there because this was our first time seeing a quarterback on the road. First time seeing a team on the road. Sorry,
we had a lot of that today. This is Indiana's
Yeah.
first time on the road. It was a lot of people's first time on the road. A lot of people's first time on the road. And those that are able to...
Big win, Jack. Feel good.
Yep. Bow up.
I think Tennessee's better than Ole Miss.
Ooh.
Am I wrong?
Well, we'll get a chance to find out, right?
Do they play?
I always
I don't
forget
think
that
they
there's 50 teams in these leagues. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we don't. Then we could just do the hypothetical.
All right. Foreshadow, just looking at Ole Miss's schedule. They're on a bye now, right? Yeah, it's not October. October 11th, you will have Washington State as they travel to Oxford. You will have Washington State winners.
No, I've seen them. I don't need to back. I don't need to back that group.
Come on, dude. Ole Miss off a bye. You're going to be given 39.
I don't need to back that group. It was very early in the day.
Yes.
I would like to say that a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned that Arkansas was going to beat someone, that someone was not Notre Dame. Mr. Carr.
Yeah, I was going to say basketball season's coming.
There you go. Mr. Carr was 22 for 30 with 4 touchdowns. Our guy Sam's in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's a fine man. He said, I'd be mad at me. Doesn't matter about that so much as I think we can see what direction this is going. And I just want to say, if Bobby Petrino is the coach again of Arkansas, then truly anything in life could happen. I just want you Arkansas people to know, when you do that and you hire that man again, then why are you laughing, Steve? Like, that's going to happen. And when it does,
no, it can't.
It's gonna.
He scored 13 points today. That was his trial. No way. You can't do that.
Oh, buddy, they can, they will, and they are.
No.
And when they do, every single person is going to send out the picture of him with a neck brace and road rash.
They already are.
But the fact that they're going to end up hiring him is fucking believable.
They're not hiring.
All right.
No way.
I would think someone in the group would go,
Gentleman's bet.
we might not should do that. I was wrong. Hand up. I was fired up for Arkansas. That was a bad one.
Did you give him out?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. I sure did. That wasn't close. That was not close. I'm happy for Illinois winning against USC because they were the right side. They fumbled not once but twice going in. And when USC took the lead, it's a little bit like the Tennessee deal, although it's the different thing there is you got the home crowd that you can lean on. They managed to drive down and kick a field goal and win. But USC showed a lot of fight, and they lose another close one, which that was sort of the bane of their existence last year, as they managed to lose all those close games. This was one, though, that honestly, I mean, Illinois fumbled going in twice. Like, not at the 20, like at the 1. And so...
Yeah. The fourth quarter one, I was like, oh, my God, because
that's going to be like that.
Thing
that's
where
lights
they went
out.
for 2 first.
Yeah, that'd be lights out if they get it, but they didn't.
Yeah. I just think it says a lot. I know we're fans, but that's a hell of a job by Bielema.
Agreed.
It's a hell of a job. You were left for dead. You got your brains beat in. And he said after that Indiana game, I've never been a part of a game like this, but I read into that more because I'm watching the tape back because I didn't see that game live. They lost like 5 corners and safeties. He doesn't have his best defensive captain, Xavier Scott. He's gone. Like they're down to like, I want to say like their 6th, 7th, and 8th start, like to start the season. Guys in the secondary, they're starting now against SC.
And what go ahead.
And he comes out with a game plan where SC didn't have the ball to start the game. They had it once, or maybe they had once 3 and out, and then Illinois was up. And then, SC starts getting some traction. They get a huge turnover. And that's where I just go back to US. It's the same USC over and over and over again.
Bielema's comment after that demolition in Bloomington was, our response will define our season. That's what a leader. That's what a leader of men says. But then you got to lead men, and the men got to follow your lead, and they did. And so it is a continuation of some script we've seen from USC. But I do think you walk into a spot. You're walking in against a team led by an excellent coach that battled their ass off for him. And after you bent and theoretically broke, they didn't break him because they had enough time, and Altmaier and the boys got down there and they kicked the field goal and win. That felt like the correct result based on the way that game was played.
Yeah, if SC stole that one, that was going to be a tough one for Illinois, because you still have expectations from what you return and what you are as a program, what you built last year. So that was super impressive. I didn't have the guts to take. I thought that was a sneaky one, and my feelings toward noon games.
Yeah,
but we hit a couple noon games today.
Yeah,
had to take a couple.
And good. It's just I said on winners, like I don't like taking Friday night games because you down money before your first Bloody Mary on Saturday. Steve doesn't like Bloody Marys, but I was just making a joke about
unless you win.
I was going to say, but what if you win? And we started off with a dub. I just want to reference a tip of the cap to Georgia Tech and Haynes King.
Oof,
down,
I had him written down.
Down in Winston-Salem. The number, like Steve, the other night when I wrote, like for winners, I had 22 people that were on the card. Naturally, the people like Illinois, Wake, Utah State, et cetera, Colorado, all didn't give them. But Wake just looked like, this is one of those sleepy spots where you just, there will be tens, maybe hundreds, perhaps even thousands of people in Winston-Salem. Noon, Bojangles, Jefferson Pilot window, everything's set up against you. And they're down the whole way. But then they battle back. They get it to overtime. They score. Wake scores, goes for 2 in the win. Georgia Tech is able to get the stop, and they get out of there with all that matters. I mean, the cliche is to say, all you got to do is score 1 point more. That's what they did. They scored literally 1 point more. Haynes King accounted for more than 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air. I would be remiss, however, if I did not say that they missed an offsides on a 3rd and 5 with Georgia Tech out of timeouts late that would have been ball game. And so that's a tough one. Complaining about officiating it's always the lowest common denominator thing to do.
Yeah.
But when it's 3rd and 5 and a dude jumps and somehow it's just not called, that's by rule 5 yards first down, knees. So that's they got lucky on that one. But given the opportunity, you always talk about it. With an opportunity, what do you make of it? Well, they made it count, and they remain unbeaten. And this is that illustrates the point that we always talk about. When you look at people's schedule and you go, they don't play this team, they don't play that team, they don't play the other team. Doesn't mean you can't lose to someone you're not supposed to lose to. Happens every single week. It didn't happen to Georgia Tech today, so bully for them.
I have some stuff for you.
I am ready for stuff.
Because I know You watched way too much but I need 90 seconds on DeKalb today.
Dude. I don't have 90 seconds on a 6-3 game. I took DeKalb. Northern Illinois, Husky Stadium with an IE. I don't know if their quarterback got injured or if they switched. They must have had a quarterback injury. I don't believe that. I'm going to wait for an official. I'm going to combine the yardage on this one, Steve. Just open up team stats tab, please, and let's combine the yardage in this 6-3 thriller where I was catching 2.5. We had a grand total of under 450 yards. We were under 450 in DeKalb combined, 6-3 final.
For those listening, this is San Diego State at Northern Illinois.
True.
Northern Illinois plus 2.5 on winners at home. San Diego State just beat the brakes off of Cal last week.
Felica had him too, didn't he? We were texting with the Bear. I believe Felica was on DeKalb as well. It was just an absolute. And if the spot was there next week, I'd play it again. It's just it's no brainer. It's like blackjack, 8-3 against 7, double down. DeKalb is a double down spot. And you don't always get a face card on your 8-3. And we didn't. We got 3 points. Had maybe 10 first downs. It was on. The sound was never on, and I didn't have to acknowledge anything happening because nothing happened until San Diego State went on what equated to a drive, and it was long enough for them to kick a game-winning field goal late.
Did any of your kids walk in and like point to that screen and be like, "What is that?
Why is that on?" No, because they all sort of blend in. My middle guy would have, but he's been battling a virus for a week. I don't think he's functioning at full speed.
Come on, Sam.
He's a struggle bus. He's taking the drugs, but
is he on the IR tomorrow?
Yeah, he's not playing. That's a CD. That's coach's decision. My man took it to school the other day, came home, and was a complete wreck. So I think what we need rest. We need rest and fluids.
Okay. Fluids.
You know what the key is? Pedialyte popsicles. They love them. Seems like a treat, and actually, it's as he said, and it's good for you. I mean, theoretically. I mean, we need to hydrate you. Poor guy. They tried to take blood out of him. They couldn't get any. He had 2 giant bruises on his arm. It was not a good scene. Trying to get the blood and unable to do it. So, he's a DNP CD for Sunday. We're going to try to get him back up and running. Sunday is not going to be a great day. If I could just pivot into a different sport for a moment, the American side is getting absolutely debacled in Bethpage. Debacled. And the European side are a juggernaut. It's Rory, Fleetwood, Rahm, and then all of you knucklehead drunks that want to poke the bear. All you do when you yell at Lowry and Rory, all you do is make it worse. I don't know if you saw the video. Rory's on 15.
No.
All right, Rory's on 15. He's in the rough. Somebody says whatever. Rory just goes, "Hey, shut the fuck up." Then he steps in and hits it to 3 feet. Fleetwood makes the birdie, game over. It must be unbelievably satisfying for that group.
Yeah.
Any road win in this competition is incredibly rare. But to do it there in the face of that nonstop alcohol-fueled, low-budget chirping has got to be incredible. And they are reveling in it as they should, because they are beating the shit out of the American side. It's 11.5 to 4.5 with Sunday singles to come. Scheffler's 0-4. That's never happened, I don't believe, to a world number one. Played in all 4 sessions, lost all 4. But it's worth pointing out that, like, it's probably for the people that don't watch it a ton, you just are like, oh, the Americans suck. Well, Scotty played with DeChambeau, and they were 9 under through 15 holes. They couldn't go further because the team they're playing is like 15 under par. It is outrageous the number of putts the Europeans are making, number of quality shots they're hitting, and they're just better at this. It's not a secret. And I was hoping for Keegan that it would go better. You know, everyone's going to crush him.
Oh, God.
And what I hate about it for him is he should have played on the last team. He didn't get picked. Now he's a captain. You invest so much of your time and in your life in wanting to be a captain. It's all set up for you. Like you're talking about how it's all set up for Penn State. Well, it's all set up for you. Well, Penn State lost in overtime, which in some ways, I guess, maybe makes it worse because it magnifies the disappointment because you're this close. America's just getting smashed. And, you know, you got 12 matches Sunday you can play, and you have to win most of them. So, stranger things have happened, but to date, I think the European side has had to extravagantly enjoy rubbing the people's noses in it. That, I mean, they had 30 cops walking around with Rory and Lowry because it's got to a point where the people on the ground there are just saying it's just so totally across the line.
Of course it is. It's what they did. That's why I ultimately decided not to go tomorrow. I'm just like, I just don't want to deal with it. It's not.
I did something on the show the other night about the fear is this, right? You want to live up to the rep. You want to make it difficult on them. Well, that's one thing to do. They know it's a road game. They know that they're not going to have people from America rooting for them. They get that. There's a difference between that and just following Rory McIlroy around all day and chanting F you at him, which, again, only riles him up to the point that he turns around and says, shut the F up, hits it to 3 feet, and then stands with his arms wide open like, y'all having fun? Let me know when y'all are having fun. So,
as Coach Hasselbeck would say, you draw the line.
And you crawl across it. Buddy, they're going to waltz across it at this point. Yeah. They're going to just high step like, what's up, Merton Hanks? Get that neck bobbling. I don't know what I missed.
What?
Not a lot.
I want to give a couple thank yous
to the Penn State people.
No, to Kansas State.
What?
I gave it out on SportsCenter this morning. I said, this is a straight Coach Corso special. K-State is 1-3, giving 5.5 to undefeated UCF. Somebody knows something that I don't. I'll take the Purple Cats.
Dub by 14.
UCLA, thank you.
Kept it close.
For covering.
Did not win.
To the people that were yelling at me on the set today, we'll see you at Potomac Grocer. Thank you. We'll see you.
Love that.
There.
Love the nod to Potomac Grocer.
Yeah.
We'll be there. We'll be there Sunday for the weekly Italian on a baguette.
There you go. Lot of questions asking, will Big Ten Scotty ever come to State College?
No. No, I shouldn't say that. I got kids. They could go there. They probably won't get into Maryland. And Penn State and Maryland, this is not a knock on, that's not like saying you're a safety school. It's just that for some reason, I had one of my best friend's kids, went to the right school, had the right grades, didn't even bother with Maryland, knew he couldn't get in. Penn State, the out-of-state, like, hard to get in, but not impossible. So maybe if my kids go there, and by the way, you know who I'm talking about. Like, they loved it. Said it was, I think they went there and went out with their kids to the bars. Maybe that's just what the parents do when you go to Penn State. But why would
thing.
I drive up there? Like, I'm not going to go for a game. The odds of that happening are just, and that's not specific to them. Like, the odds of me going to any road game, it's just.
Yeah, I think my answer was never. They're like, when is he coming? I'm like, probably
Did you
never.
go to the Creamery?
I did not.
Okay.
I went to Champs. Shout out to Dante.
What's up, Dante?
Thank you. He outfitted all our camera guys with white T-shirts, which was awesome.
Why don't you wear a suit?
I didn't get asked about the suits.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think you'd look dapper. Could have worn those Gucci's.
No, you had to.
Yeah, brown Gucci's.
Yeah, have white.
Yeah, but
I don't think they make white Gucci's.
I promise you, they make white Gucci's.
No, well, I don't want Steph seeing it.
Yeah, I can't buy. I can't buy anymore. I think I'm on timeout for that one.
Thank you for Stanford coming back and winning against San Jose
That's
State.
2 dubs for. You said, "Hey, don't give me this." You said they weren't going to win a game.
No, this one's personal because my guy Tank Williams got inducted to the Stanford Hall of Fame.
Shout out Tank,
and he's the secondary coach for the Cardinal. He's like, I don't want to think about getting in this Hall of Fame if we lose. And they came back. They were losing the whole game and won 30-29. Shout out. We've talked plenty about them.
Virginia Tech.
Yes, they won today.
I watched them, and I'm so glad you said it. I mean, this is us being an old married couple where I'm able to finish your sentences. Yeah. I watched them compete, and they're in Raleigh, and NC State's a capable team, 3-1, right? It wasn't like they played some bunch of bums. That's a good win, but more than anything, it just showed you they haven't quit on each other. Good for them.
Yeah,
because when Steve and I do that thing about the song and whatever, like this isn't me and Steve dumping on anything other than the highlight of the day can't be before the game starts, and then obviously you fired the coach because you lost Old Dominion, et cetera, et cetera. But it could go sideways from there, where everyone could tap out. That kind of win speaks to something good that exists in that locker room. And my guess is it's the coaches and the young men that remain.
Yes. Really cool. I was just flicking around as I had to stop jogging and started walking on the iPad, and I got caught watching Marshall and Louisiana. It was 3-3 at the end of the first quarter, and I got caught watching overtime. It was 3-3 at the end of the first quarter. It ended up 54-51.
Wow.
Shout out to the Raging Cajuns.
They got the dub?
For winning. Yeah, they did. Marshall was winning the whole game. And that's another team violated by the portal. And did you catch the Marcus Freeman interview today on game day?
I did not.
Oh, he's just awesome, man.
Yes, he is.
He's awesome.
Is there some
awesome
Cliff's Notes, something that he said specifically that you thought, or just his general vibe?
No, he's just awesome.
Okay, no, we agree.
We talk Cologne, we talk Boo-Ray and Tonk. And
okay,
all that. Like it was.
Who was that kid that stepped up and kicked because he drilled it?
Oh, that was the best kick I've seen as a referee for the field goal in 3 years.
Cleared it by a lot.
It was good from 45, easy.
Okay.
He so the other kid won the raffle and knows he couldn't kick, and then he heard guys talking, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I played high school soccer." He's like, "Want to split?" And they did it. That happened at Georgia last year.
So he gets a buck 50. The other kid gets a buck 50.
I don't know how they're splitting it, but it was a tandem.
It's a great picture that I guess it was the game day PR sent out, like a story in 4 or whatever, and there's the picture of Pat where you see his face, where especially as a kicker, he knows the sound and the trajectory of the ball off the foot, and immediately he's like, "Oh, this is going to cost me three bags, 3 bags." Okay, that's what we're doing today.
Yeah,
fun moment.
So yeah. No, it was again, I can't say enough about the hospitality here. It's awesome. They do a great job. And it just sucks that they're back at square one. whether it's the restaurants, the hotels, the people, the athletic department's fantastic. I mean, Nick Colullo and Pat Kraft. I mean, they're in it, man. And like the scene, like outside, because I'm like, there's no way all these people are fitting in the stadium.
Well, it's like Baton Rouge. Like people just come to come.
It's nuts, man. It is a spectacle, and it was great to finally experience it and be in downtown.
But you say square one, like I mean, yes and no. It isn't eliminating. It's not a disqualifying loss. It's just it's emotionally you're back to square one.
Well,
but we know some folks that are in that space, and I get that. A lot of scar tissue, a lot of bruising.
Yeah. But like real quick, because I think these rankings are getting more volatile. Do you think Penn State's better than Texas?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm
just saying, like, are they a top 15 team?
Penn State?
What I can't.
Well,
yeah.
Based purely off of who they were ranked to be in August before they'd played a game, I suppose they just played a top whatever team and they lost in overtime. I thought largely for much of the game they were really conservative and didn't look very good. Then they get to overtime and I thought they were stealing it would be overstating it, but it felt like a win where I thought Oregon was better largely. How do I know what Texas is? I'll know more about Texas I think after next week when they go to Florida and play that defense. I haven't I also the context of Texas's performance against Ohio State framed with what Ohio State did today against a very capable and talented Washington offense makes me go, oh, okay. It's hard to score against them. So I don't know. I have no idea if they're better than Texas.
That's what I'm just looking at. 3-1 teams.
Well, the three are irrelevant. They haven't beaten anybody that matter. Right? And neither's Texas. So they both. No, I understand. I understand. Like what we're doing is we're saying here are two teams that started the year ranked high. Neither of them has beaten anyone who's any good, and they each lost to the good team they played. So I don't really know, but I know that if either of those teams play well for October and November, they'll be in the playoff in December. So it doesn't matter. Shit, people decided Florida State was cooked in August. Excuse me, Alabama.
Yeah.
We're good with them now? They're all right? Them against Vanderbilt next week. Legitimate curiosity about that one. Because that game last year, that game script, they could not get that man off the field. And Diego Pavia has only gotten more superpowers since then.
They're coming.
Not afraid.
They're coming.
Not afraid. And actually the opposite of not afraid. He's pretty sure he's real good.
Yeah.
So what a fun one that is. That's where you guys might go? Yeah. What else are you allowed to tell me what else is up for is in discussion, or is that like state secret?
No, I mean everything's on the table.
Terps Washington.
That took a hit today. I came in the office after Florida State lost. I was pumping it up. Washington beats Ohio State. Maryland, we've never hosted.
Here we go.
But
Maryland probably needs a few more dubs.
Yeah. Indiana, right? November 1st.
Yeah.
I'm looking
like what else? I'm thinking Kent State, Oklahoma is probably
Miami, Florida State.
Oh, right. Well, that's the good one. Yeah. But you just did Miami 2 weeks ago.
Correct. That's the conundrum.
And Florida State just lost.
Mississippi State won. Mississippi State and A&M was on the board. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I was hoping for Maryland.
There's no way in God's green earth not yet.
Why not? If Washington had beaten Ohio State,
that would have been. I mean, it still wouldn't have been as big as some of these other ones.
Yes, it would have.
Whatever.
Undefeated against undefeated. I'm dying to know what that Alabama Vandy line is.
Vegas is putting some respect on Vandy's name, and with good reason, because they hang big numbers on people. They did again today, although there was that late tutter from the Aggies that I think significant to some. Wow, you guys beat San Jose State. I gave up on that one at 20 when y'all were down.
Oh, they were down 20-6 or something.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go back. That's a good tape to go back
All
and
right.
watch. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Did UMass cover?
I don't know. I think was it 42-6, I think was the final?
Yeah.
I don't think they were getting I think they were getting more than 36. That's a weird one. They played them in Amherst. They played them last year up at the
they came
at the outside
Amherst.
rack. What's it called?
What?
The outside rack. Dude, I don't know what it's called. The outdoors and outdoor. Dude,
I was
Drinkwoods. It's out by Groton. I got flag in the morning.
I got to drive home.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. We got a big hoops game. We got beat 30-8 last week.
Well, let's tighten up the defense.
That was the focus this week.
It's strictly about effort and want to. That's why I wasn't very good at it. All right. Congrats. Here's to the winners. If this play works that I'm watching, no.
Is that a horse collar? I'm watching the same thing.
They scored a touchdown. Colorado did, but there was like a horse collar, I think they called.
Oh.
And then we just lost 40 yards. We being Colorado.
Invested.
I mean, the numbers seem to speak to me.
What would your record have been if you gave out all 22?
That's a great question. I'm going to go. I mean, it would have been good because there was at least five or six that were on the original Tuesday chicken scratch list. And then we research. And then we just screamed to Calb.
You dropped the Foo Fighters.
I just loved, anytime I give Mississippi State, I do the Christopher Walken thing. And then the Grohl imitation of Walken is the emphasis on Foo or fighters. I think it's on fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters. It makes me laugh every time. I laugh after I do it. I don't ever laugh at myself, but I'm not laughing at myself. I'm laughing at Grohl doing Walking. Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters. I went and watched it. It's not quite as... He doesn't give you the full...
Oh, you do it way better.
No. But Walken doesn't give it the full Foo Fighters. He doesn't really punch it, but he punches a little bit, but not a lot. Not the whole thing with the Foo Fighters.
Just one last question.
Yeah, man.
Going back to DeKalb.
Yeah, what about
it? Was there a point where you thought you had a win?
No. Steve, they had 10 first downs. There was no point where they threatened. There was no point.
How was the crowd?
As I wrote in Winters, how do you think you're going to just go into Husky Stadium in front of hundreds, maybe even thousands of fans on row upon row of metal bleachers as far as the eye can see? Bunch of cool Cali kids. You're not going to be able to fuck with that. As it turned out, they were fine.
Yeah.
No, that was never. Now, I had Pitt, who was ahead 17-0. That seemed like a winner. That was disgusting.
Okay. What about South Alabama?
Getting 12.5. They gave up a late touchdown. North Texas scored and went for 2 to win by 14. If they don't get it, cover time. But they got it. And that was one that's on plus, and I'm on this one and that one, and I try to click over, and when I click over, they're up 14. I'm like, what the fuck did they do? And then I'm like, I still haven't seen it. I just know they went for 2. Why? I mean, 6-5's fine, but it's just the Pitt games is disgusting. DeKalb, I was wrong. It was hard to watch. I don't want to lie and act like I was really watching. It was just on, and I kept thinking, is the home team ever gonna? Nope, we're just gonna punt a lot. Not a lot of yards, Steve.
Hey.
Not many yards. I feel like we ran out of steam like an hour ago and just kept going. So if anyone's still listening, thank you.
No, they'll love the Christopher Walken.
Foo Fighters. That wasn't even a good one. That's how you know it's over. Time to shut her down, and I guess it's Tuesday, probably. That sound right?
Yeah, what do we got? New York. Oh, Jets Dolphins Monday.
Colorado. Mayhem.
Oh. Nope.
I think BYU's on it. That's fine.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Stop talking. Drive safe. We'll see you in New York on Monday. My man. Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters.